So you finally received a shipment of the products that you designed, and you're excited to finally bring them out to the world, but it's been a confusing and hectic road trying to find a video that will help you establish your online store.
What? Or maybe you're already selling on platforms such as Etsy, but they're killing you on those fees. Regardless of what stage you are in your business, in this video, we're gonna show you guys how to build an e-commerce store and how to build out a Shopify store for your online brand. Now, this video is intensive and it is a little long, but it's super detailed and it's gonna help you. And for that reason, we created timestamps right below this video that you guys could easily click on and actually work on in real time. So you could always reference to this video as you're building your store. So some of the things that we discuss in this video includes, how do you know if you can use a brand's name? How do you search a trademark in a database? How do you connect a domain name to your online store? How do you create product collections? How do you actually manage your inventory with SKUs and barcodes? How to create new sales channels, such as selling on Pinterest or Instagram or other third-party social media sites, email marketing, sales, and much more, guys. This video is super intensive and we spent hours creating it in order to help and assist you take your physical business and put it online. So if you're a new visitor to this channel, I highly encourage that you hit that subscribe button right down below. And if you're starting a clothing brand, we highly encourage that you also download your free resources, which are linked in the resources down below. So without any further ado, guys, let's jump right into this. Now, it's important to me that this video remains as unbiased as possible. So I commonly always get the question of which platform should I host my products? Where should I sell on? What is Shopify? What about Wix? What about Squarespace? What about all these other platforms out there? Can I use those? So we're gonna answer those really quickly, as well as how do you find the name? How do you know if the name that you wanna use is a name that you can actually use without getting in trouble? So we're gonna knock those out really quickly by showing you guys a really good comparison to begin with, and then a really quick tutorial on how you could do a trademark search, as well as an in-depth search through Google and social media. So to answer the first question, we're gonna dive into which platform to use. Now, there is pros and cons to all of them, but all of them are essentially around the same price points. Now you have Wix, which is around $24, $25 by the filming of this video, but it also goes to $29, and you have Squarespace in a similar range. Now they all vary between $9 to $30. We can kind of agree on that. There's little differences here and there, but for the most part, everybody's between $9 a month to $30 a month. And then obviously there's the option that you can just completely build your own site and only have to pay a couple dollars, like $2 to $3 a month to host it. Now, this is a very important crossroads that you're crossing right here, guys, because of the fact that when it comes to shopping and when it comes to setting up and establishing a platform, you need to use a platform that creates an environment for your success. Now, if this is simply a test site, or maybe you just want to do this as a side hustle and it's not your primary thing to build an e-commerce brand, then it's fine that you go with some of the other platforms like Wix and Squarespace and all of them, because those are more geared towards artists and a little bit more of like people that are doing it as a hobby or a passion. Now, when it comes to e-commerce, Shopify continues to be the leader. They continue to grow and build the ecosystem that you need to actually have the tools that you need for success. In short, everything that we're about to discuss in this video, you could actually do with every other platform. The main difference is the fact that Shopify has an ecosystem that already allows you to easily connect into every single platform and every single tool that we're about to discuss. And they help you go offline into the real world by managing your real inventory, whether it be at retail stores or boutiques, or maybe you decide to want to do some pop-ups at events. Shopify gives you the tools to sell in person, on credit card, wherever you're at. Every other platform is lagging behind in these features, which is the reason why we are showing you how to build your Shopify store today, and we're not showing you how to do a different platform. So remember, either way, you can still use the tips that we discuss in this to build around any other platform, and some of the tools that we discuss also integrate into there, but just keep in mind that you don't want to be penny wise and pound foolish, all right? You want to be smart with your investment and begin with the tools that give you the greatest capability and chances for growth. And now let's touch base on how can you verify if the brand name idea you have is available for you to use. Now, maybe you have such a great idea, you feel it's unique, it's new, nobody else has used it before, but you're not sure if that's true. So where do you start? Do you just go on social media and find a couple brands and see, okay, maybe they are using it, maybe they're not. But if you're gonna be spending money on your business and your brand, chances are you also wanna be able to trademark it. You can easily create a 10, 15-minute video just on trademarks. That's not what we're gonna do today. But we are gonna show you how you can easily check to see if a name is available through this three-step process that we're about to dive in. So make sure you're taking notes right now as we jump into this section. Now, everything that we're discussing is going to be linked right down below through a step. So if we're moving away too fast or you want to come back to this in the future, just go ahead and open and expand that video description, which will give you the timestamps with all the information that we're talking about right now. So the first step that you want to do to verify if a name is available for your brand is actually head on over to the USPTO.gov website. Now, the USPTO.gov website is essentially a portal that houses every single registration for trademarks and patents. Now, if you're on the homepage right here, you want to go to trademarks and then going to the searching trademarks, and then you simply want to click on search our trademark database. Now, this is the database that houses information on everything that's pending, everything that's live, and everything that has died. What that means is if it's dead, it means it's available for use, or they stopped registering it, or they stopped doing business, so they didn't renew it. So in this case, what you want to do, the basic, easiest way to get started on this is to do a basic word mark search. Now, this allows you to quickly see a list of things that you're thinking about. So in the case of, let's say we're starting a brand called Generations. Now, I want to call my brand Generations, and I want to see if anything's available. Now, obviously, plural, single, live, and dead. You want to go for live because you want to make sure that if there's anything conflicting that's currently in the market. So you hit submit query, and what you see is you'll find 1,958 records that say generations in the name. Now, we did do plural or singular, so let's do singular and see what happens here. We narrowed it down to 349 searches, which is, again, you have somewhere around 300 to 1,000 search results. You see that Generations has a live one here, and you can click on it here, and it'll say it's a marketing service, homes, retail and wholesale store services featuring modular homes. So if you're starting a clothing brand, and you're thinking about calling it Generations, chances are you will have some competition and you will have to do some research here to make sure that you could trademark it. Now, you'd want to trademark it if you feel like this is something that you're going to pursue for the next 5 years. If it's something that you're just like, oh, I'm toying with it, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it, then it's up to you if you want to pursue the trademark, because if you're not that serious about it, it does cost you money to trademark something. So none of this is legal advice again. Make sure you consult an attorney. Now, when it comes to expanding on that, you're going to want to do a structured search. Now, there's a couple of different ways to do a structured search here. So we're going to do Generations, and we're going to do basic MPN, this thing right here. And then what we're going to do is apparel as the goods and services. So let's do t-shirts, because we want to do t-shirts on Generations. Now, there was a couple here. It's because I did not put the and. So when you do this search, you want to go ahead and make sure you put and not or, all right? This will combine everything, so it narrows it down to that one key list. So we have 373 records. Now, this was similar to the amount that we did on the basic search, which is why I say you're going to have to do some research on this. Now, we did bring it down from like 3,000 to 300, but now you're going to want to click around here. Now, there's one called Our Generation. There's a couple called Gen Z. There's all kinds of them down here. So you're going to want to click on them and just see what they are. So this one, Our Generation, sells t-shirts. So that could be a potential for you to have a dispute with somebody. Gen Z sells t-shirts, and so does this other one, Generation Z. Now, that is essentially going to give you a pretty good idea about who's the competitor in the field. Doing a trademark search allows you to say, okay, there is people using Generations as a brand for t-shirts. So maybe I need to expand on that and I need to call it a little bit, something a little bit more, something a little bit different. And there is a potential for you to add the name or expand on the name and get the approval. But again, you're gonna want to consult an attorney on this because there is a lot of legalities and things like that. But this is giving you guys a pretty good idea about how to search the trademark database to see if something is available. Now, let's just say that Generations popped up right now, it seems like, okay, it might be something that's available. The next thing that we wanna do is simply go to Google and we wanna do Generation Clothing. And we just wanna click on this. And as you can see right here, you have Generation clothing brand in Pakistan. That's in a different country, which is a pretty good thing because that means that maybe it's not in the US. The next thing you want to do is Generation clothing brand. And what you'll find is, yes, you do have mainly the person outside of the US doing this. So that search comes out pretty good. Obviously, there is a pretty big retail store that has it, but it's not a brand from what I can see. They have, what you'll want to do is just click around and just see what the details are with people using your brand. So Generation Clothing. What you do is just do a quick search there. There is a Generation Clothing brand, but it does look like it's overseas. So that is something that could be a potential that you can use in the United States if they haven't trademarked it here. So with that being the case, guys, it looks like Generation's clothing brand is seeming like something that could potentially be used. All right, the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and use the links in the description to link you to the Shopify domain search that we're having. All right, from here, what you'll do is you'll type in the name, you'll hit the search bar, and it'll take you to a list of results that are available for the domain name. Now, we did a trademark check, a social media check. Let's see if there's any websites available with this name. Now, you could do a variation on this and you can go with like Generations Clothing or Generations Clothing Brand, Generations Apparel Brand, or Generation Clothing Co. So what you guys can do is, what you can do next is see if there's a way to find a variation on your brand. Obviously, Generation as a whole is kind of a common name. So if we do something like Generations Clothing Co., that could be available, and it's generationsclothingco.com. So when it comes to something like that, you may be wondering, well, is it too long? Will people have a hard time spelling it? Those are real valid questions, guys. If you make a domain really long, or if you're trying to tell somebody, hey, my brand is generationsclothingco.com, somebody on the streets or that you're trying to talk to, or even on social media, will find it very difficult to find online unless you text them the link, right? So when it comes to this, you could do this if you're just mainly doing online e-commerce, but if you're selling in person, that is something that you're going to want to consider is how can you get a name that's better suited for your store. Now, this is where you could search Get.Store. Now, the Get.Store is a sponsor of this video, and they're essentially a platform that allows you to buy store domain names. What this means is you have the store extension. So instead of just having to settle for a .net or a very long domain name, and then people have a hard time confusing it or finding out how it's spelled, you could check and see if .store has something available for you. Now, .store is used by big celebrities, influencers like Cristiano Ronaldo and all these big brands. They use a .store extension to easily and clearly identify that what website people are landing on is actually a store website. It's an e-commerce website. So it does, and it will help you clearly identify that through your social media. It could also help you, hopefully, we'll check right now, this is literally in person. It could also help you potentially secure the domain name that you really want by adding a .store extension. So let's do Generation, and let's check and see if it's available. Like, this is literally legit the first time that we see this right now. Generation.store is a premium domain name, which is $625 for 1 year. Now that is a little bit like expensive. I don't know about you guys, $625 for a domain name. I don't know if I would buy it. No, I wouldn't buy it. But if it's really something that you want, it's not that bad off because some people are selling domain names for like $1,000 or even $100,000. I've seen some listed for $1 million. $1 million. Can you believe that? Some people. Anyways, let's see if we add an S. Maybe you'll also decide, hey, you know what? Let's do Generations.com and let's see what we can get right here. Generations.STORE is also taken. Let's do Generation Apparel and let's see if that's available. GenerationApparel.STORE is available. So if this was a domain name that was near and dear to your heart and you needed to scoop it up, then consider using a .store extension, as it will give you credibility online for people to know that they're going to a store, they can expect to shop, and they can expect to cop something that you're looking to sell. So if you're looking to purchase something because you know that you want to use it and you want to get the .store extension, you could easily buy a .store extensions through portals like Shopify or any other hosting site. But for a limited time, if you guys are watching this video, as GetStore is a sponsor of this video, you guys will be able to buy a full year domain. Instead of paying $29, you pay $1.99. Your boys got you on that. And if you want to buy the 3-year plan, instead of paying the $87 or so that they charge you, it's actually, $87, your boys got you at $22.99. That means that you can register your name for literally pennies on the dollar, and you can get a custom domain name. So make sure you guys check out through the .store link right down below and use John at checkout. That's John, John. And again, this offer is available for a limited time. So if you guys are looking to get something soon, just go ahead and check out right down below and you guys can get your domain name. So once you have that secured, you essentially are going to check out, and this is where our tutorial begins. All right. This is where we're actually going to jump into the process of creating your store. So if you've been following along so far, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you comment down a question that you have that you've had on your mind as we've been going through this tutorial. Now, the next step of the video is to actually route the domain that you have and point it to Shopify so you can get a custom URL that's hosted on Shopify. Or if you just check out through Shopify, you'll also be able to just easily do all this. But a lot of times people buy their domain names through other platforms like Bluehost, and they want to be able to point to Shopify. So I want to go ahead, like I said, I promised this in this video, guys, that we're going to show you guys a comprehensive way of building out your store. So we're covering all bases. And essentially, if you buy a domain name from a different registrar, right, that's what they're called, you'll want to point it to Shopify. So let's check out real quick and essentially proceed with this tutorial. All right, you guys, so the next part of this process involves actually connecting the domain name that you have through a different provider to your Shopify store. Now, if you guys have just onboarded, if you decided to just go with Shopify to register your domain as well as your hosting and your website and your email, then all of this does not apply to you. So definitely skip a few minutes in order to get to the next part of this process. But if you're in the same boat as a lot of people are and you've purchased your domain from a different registrar because you like them, or maybe you have multiple domains with them, or you've just been stocking up and you've been one of those people that stock up on domain names, then in the following process, you're gonna actually be able to connect it to your Shopify store. So it's not just generations.shopify.com, it's Generation'sApparel.STORE. Now, in order to get started with your Shopify 14-day free trial, I highly encourage you to use the links in the description down below, as we are an affiliate to that, and it allows us to continue to provide more content like this. Once you click on that, you just enter your email address that you want to associate with this account. So what you're going to do is just enter your email address, your password, and the store name that you want Shopify to reference. This isn't that important if it's taken or if there's a combination that's taken, because what matters is the actual domain name, which we'll hook up in a second. So just call it something that you want Shopify to reference you as. It could be your name, Generations. It could be anything here. Don't worry too much about that. So you could say, I'm selling, just not online. How do you want to sell? Both online and in person. This will give you, this is important because it'll set you up with some options in the dashboard when you actually log in. It'll give you multiple options to get started. So if you are thinking about selling at markets, fairs, at pop-ups, maybe even opening up your own location, maybe you're going to go ahead and say, I'll have one location to start, and then you have none there because you're still thinking about them. And I'm creating the store because I want to start a new business. What is your current revenue? Say somewhere a little higher than normal, because this is also risk management. So if you say you do $0 and then suddenly you get a sale for 1,000, then they might hold it. Or if you get a sale for like 5,000, they might hold it if you're only saying you do a couple hundred a month. Once you get started with Shopify, you have a 14-day free trial, and I highly encourage that you make the most of it. Launch it, sell products, so you can always remain in the green and not have to eat that $29 hosting fee. Or that $29 hosting fee is very minimal to you because you're making hundreds, if not thousands of dollars with every drop. So what you want to do to update your domain is go to Online Store and hit Domains. Now you're going to click on Connect Existing Domain, and you're going to describe it as GenerationApparel.STORE. That's the domain that we got. And we're going to hit Next. And now there's instructions here which are important, but some of them are a little confusing, so I'm just going to go ahead and clarify some things for you guys so you don't have the issue that I have. So essentially, when it comes to if you purchase through a third party, then you need to edit the following DNS settings. So if you guys have been following along with our store account, what you'll go to is Manage Orders, List Search Orders, and you're going to click on this, which is going to take you to this field here. Through this field, you're going to go to the bottom and hit Manage DNS. Now, when you hit Manage DNS, regardless of where you guys are hosting your domain, it's going to look something like this. You're going to have A records and CNAME records, which is what you're going to need to add in order to connect Shopify. So we'll start with the A record. We'll click the A record here, and what it says is your A record should point to Shopify's IP address, which is this. So simply hit copy. Now, once we copy that, we'll go back to the destination IP, add it there, and then we'll hit Add Record. Now, this means that this is pointing to Shopify's. So what we'll do now is we'll go to CNAME records, and what you want to add is a CNAME. Now this is where it could potentially get a little confusing because Shopify says you need to connect to shops.myshopify.com. But what this means is it's shops.yourshopify domain. So it's shops.GenerationApparel for us, or for you it'll be whatever yours is, .com. So what you want to add there is a record, and you want to add it right here. So it'll be, so what you want to do is you want to add shops.GenerationApparel.com. Don't add shops.myshopify.com or you'll have some issues. Now what you want to do here is www.generationsapparel, and now you have your value, and now we hit the add record. So now this domain is going to point to Shopify's address, and now we'll go back to Shopify over here, and we'll verify the connection. Now, this connection could take a few hours to actually load, so just keep in mind that could happen. As you guys can see, after we refreshed it, about 2 minutes later, you see the connection. So GenerationApparel.STORE is officially our domain that points to Shopify, and Shopify does provide an SSL certificate, so it shows us pending there. So now let's move on to the next part of this tutorial as we dive into a couple more details. So now that we successfully added your domain name, I think it's a great time to properly introduce how Shopify works. Now, this could be a very overwhelming or underwhelming selection of things, but like I mentioned, the more that you put on your onboarding, the more help it starts to just kind of give you in terms of marketing, sales, all that stuff. So think of this as your dashboard, your assistant, and then think of Shopify's backend, which is everything that you see right here, as the physical reality of your operations. So whether you're selling out of a bedroom, whether you're selling out of a garage, or whether you have a boutique store, this is the setup that you're gonna see, and this is what you need to know about your Shopify store. So the backend includes anything like the orders that are pending, the products that you're gonna upload, the inventory that you carry, the collections that you create. So anything that you guys are thinking about, whether it's a new collection that's going to drop or whether it's a new product line you're going to release, everything gets created on the back end. And only then will it actually be able to be categorized on the front end, which is your online store. Now your online store is what the consumer sees, so they don't see any of this. They don't see any of the details that we're going to jump into in a few minutes. All they see is what you show them through your online store. So, without getting further ahead, if you guys are following along, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know this can be overwhelming, so again, there's notes down below which includes timestamps, so you guys can build your store alongside of us and launch this in record time. Now, the next part of it is essentially the online store. So now the most common question is like, what kind of theme should I use? What is a theme? How do you use it? Can you customize it? Now, this is really where Shopify shines. Now, when it comes to themes, there is free themes and there is paid themes. Now, don't overwhelm yourself and don't like feel that you need more money to buy a theme in order to launch your store, because honestly, guys, the free themes are good enough if you're ready to sell a product. Now, we have a recent video that launched on the channel where a teenager launched a brand using TikTok. He created a following and he threw up a simple page that was selling thousands of dollars worth of products on his first drop. So don't overthink the design. It just has to be good enough for you to showcase what it is you're offering. But if you want to step it up and level up your game, then I highly encourage that you look at the theme store from Shopify, which will easily plug into Shopify and allow you to edit things a lot more simpler than if you were to sometimes get it with a third party. Third-party website stores with Shopify sometimes don't have the same level of service. So you are paying a little bit more for a Shopify theme store than you would if you got it through a third party, but it does have the support if you're a newbie and if you don't want to mess with a lot of the coding and back and forth. It's a good place to start. But again, free themes are amazing themes, guys. Free themes are super simple to use and they have a really good category and selection that you can choose from. So when you go to the theme store, you can obviously pay for others. There's some elegant ones. If you guys are looking to dish out a couple $100, then the biggest thing I would recommend you guys do is go to the categories of your brand. What I'm referring to here is, say you're selling an ethical, a sustainable manufactured product that you donate part of the proceeds to cleaning up the oceans from plastic. The last thing you want is to go and buy a theme that's tech related, right? They waste a lot of plastic and people are always throwing their phones away. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go to a clothing and fashion. Now the reason for that is because they've already built out some of these stores to give it a certain aesthetic and a certain feel. So you may be an apparel designer, but you're not a website designer. Now, this is where buying themes in your industry help you establish the brand without you having to redesign something from scratch. Now, there's a couple of different selections that you could pay for in order for you to get this. Again, don't let the value of $180 stop you from launching your store. So it doesn't have to be so elegant out the gate. As long as you have a good product and you're ready to market, you could choose almost any theme and products will sell. The theme will help you increase your sales as you grow, but to start off, I think it's just best that you launch it to begin with. So you can go through a couple of these things, and for instance, in that brand, maybe this is something that you'd want to select. You could go through the styles, talk to people. You can imagine your products being there. This is for multiple products, maybe a boutique storefront. You could change all this stuff as well once you actually have it. This is the mobile view. It's important that you always look at a mobile view because almost over 60% of traffic happens on mobile now. It's not like this so much. So with that being said, let's go down over to let's go back to all themes and go to free. Now these are the free themes available to us. And for the sake of this tutorial, a pretty good one is just the one that Shopify comes with. It's Debut, and it comes with 2 styles. Now you guys could actually just view it here. It's very simple, easy to use. It's easy to highlight. You can add images of lifestyle photos at the bottom. So honestly, Debut is a very good theme. So we're just going to start there. So Debut is right here. As you guys can see, once you click on Customize, you're gonna see all of these tabs, which is right here. This is everything that you're seeing. You can click that and it'll hide it. You can move it around, drag it. So if you wanted to upload a banner image, you can click on that. Now, if you have your own lifestyle imagery, then you guys could essentially, upload your own images. For our sake, we're just going to add some of this and some lifestyle imagery in a second. So we upload that, and now this can be changed to Generation Apparel. You can add a little bio. We add a little description here, making moves through decades. Honestly, guys, I'm making up this brand as we go, so everything you guys will see here is honestly just a test. But I'm showing you guys what you can do with this store in particular. You can change themes there. If you wanted to add a product here, then you could also upload your own product. So everything that you want to customize goes in this order. All right, let's say we wanted to go ahead and add some images for some product previews. We can upload our own images, hit select, and then go face mask. And you can honestly, you can see how easy it is for you to update all this. And once you're happy with some of the changes, you can hit save. Now you may be wondering, okay, well, how do I add products to this? Now this is something that always comes up. So we'll just remove this thing here and we'll go to featured collection. In order to feature a collection, you need to select a collection. And since you don't have a collection yet, you need to create one. So before we jump into creating collections, let's dive into uploading products. Because first you need to upload products and then you need to categorize them and then you can create collections. We'll go to products on the back end. Again, your products are going to be in the back end of Shopify. So how to add them is you're going to go to add products and you're going to categorize them. You're going to give it a title. So we're going to do face mask. And you can give it a description. Now we have, again, this is the importance of a description and a title as well as all this information is super important, guys. You want to put some good detail in order to sell your products. Don't just put something generic. Really try to sell what it is that you're selling through a description. From there, you'll add your media, which is essentially your photos. We have a 3D photo that we want to use for the product photography. From there, we'll add somebody wearing it. So let's do some e-com photos here. So now what you do is you essentially are going to add your product photos. You're going to add your prices. Let's go $19.99. And let's say this product is costing you $7 per mask. So it'll tell you right here what your margins are per sale. And this is a single product. If it costs you $7 and you're selling it for $19.99, then you have a 65% margin and you have a $13 profit. If you guys are interested in selling face masks, we actually have them wholesale, which is also going to be linked right down below through our channel, eCommerce store, where we provide face masks and quality wholesale apparel. So you want to always click on charge tax on this product because it will collect tax on in-state sales. So when you guys registered and you put your address in there, it's gonna calculate the tax based on anybody that buys in that state or that city. And if you don't tag that, then you're gonna be responsible for your sales tax when you get billed from the sales tax commission. We have an entire video series talking to you about how to get your wholesale license, your business license, and your sales tax certificate. So go ahead and hit the related playlist link, which will be linked right up above and also in the call out cards so you guys can set up your business the right way. We have the inventory. Now this is going to be important that you guys get on a good inventory system. SKUs are really important for your own sake as well as moving inventory through different channels. You're going to want to give it and assign it a barcode. Barcodes could be purchased online. We'll link a few resources for barcodes down below. Highly encourage that you get something that's cross-compatible with Amazon if you're thinking about selling on Amazon. That way you don't have to create new barcodes for every channel that you have. You essentially just create it once and you can move inventory through your fulfillment partners and everybody else. Now you want to track the quantity, and let's just say you have 50 units in stock right now. This will help you know when you're running out. This is a physical product. You weigh it and it weighs a couple ounces. Let's say it weighs 4 ounces. You want to go ahead and put the country of origin. This is from Vietnam. You can add this if you're not going to sell overseas, if you're strictly going to be focused on your US sales, and you don't really need to worry too much about this. If it has multiple colors, this is where you're going to put the sizes and colors. So like colors here, and you'll do like small, let's just say it comes in small and medium and large. Medium, large. This is going to be for like apparel, and it'll come in black, blue, and white. So what it does is it actually categorizes your small, black, blue, medium, white, medium, and large. And then say that you have 50 units, but maybe they're spread against all of these, so you could do something like this. And that you see how it automatically also created your SKU numbers here. This will help you keep track of everything. So as you guys can see, your SKU numbers were automatically assigned based on you adding them to Shopify, but you should be categorizing a SKU number for every single style and selection of a product category that you have. So in this one, we just simply did FM for face mask. If you have a t-shirt that's a graphic tee, maybe it's a fire tee, you could do FT001 on small in red, and then et cetera, it'll go down. And you create an Excel sheet to keep track of all that stuff so you can easily import it to Shopify later, or you could do it manually on Shopify and then export it if you need to. So when it comes to edit the website SEO, you want to go ahead and always edit this description, your page title and description. And this is the URL handle for this product, so it's face mask. And now you'll hit save. And it's automatically available in 2 of 2 channels. So what this means right here is it's automatically available on your online store and point of sale. So if you're selling online and in person, you want to go ahead and click those 2. They're automatically added. As you add new channels, it'll be available right there. And what you want to do is you also want to categorize a product type. The product type and the tag is important to categorize because it helps you create collections and it helps you automatically import products into certain collections or categories. So the product type, we'll do face mask. We'll add a face mask. Vendor is streetwear apparel. If you have a store that you're purchasing products from other vendors, maybe you're also reselling some products, then you would want to categorize the vendors. That way you can easily know whose inventory is who. From ours, Streetwear Apparel is our e-com store, so that's who provides the face mask, which I'm reselling through Generation Apparel. So as a tag, we're gonna tag it as face mask, and let's just say that we also wanted to do it as like fall. Maybe it's a fall collection. Maybe it's a color that we want to carry or a certain style that we only carry in the fall. Maybe we reorder that product frequently. Now, once you add your product, in order to show it on the store, you'll go to collections. And in collections, you'll create a collection and essentially title it Face Mask Fall 2020. This was something that you guys are going to carry in 2020. Automated. Product tag is equal to face mask. And it could also be, it could be that, or say you wanted to add more than just face mask to this. Maybe we want to call it Fall 2020 collection. And you also want to add t-shirts and other products and garments. Product tag is equal to Fall 2020. We hit save. And this will automatically automate the products that are tagged those things. So if you had face masks as well as t-shirts, bags, anything. So this is how you create a collection for this example, Fall 2020. Now to recap that, you add all your products that you need, add the tags, add the type, and add the vendor. If you're selling your own products, the vendor will be yourself. That way you can just know that it's your own product. And once you add that collection, you'll essentially go back to your online store. You hit customize. And then when we go to the featured collection right here, you'll just click that, select a collection, and we created the Fall 2020 collection. Title that Fall 2020. You can organize the amount of rows and SKUs. Since we only have one, it looks a little empty right now. So we've quickly just uploaded a few more products, and let's just say you're thinking, hey, how can I add a separate collection, or how can I add multiple products to other collections? So let's go ahead and just upload one more file here so we can show you what we mean here. Now, perhaps you're building out a collection, and in this one what we did is we built out a collection called Normonday Skate Tool. Normonday is a brand that was created on a recent video that just went live into our channel. So if you're in the process of creating collections or designs, I highly encourage that you also check out that video, which is linked right up above and in the show notes below. Now, this product is essentially going to be part of the Normonday collection. And in order to categorize this, you would also call it Normonday, which is what we created the other ones in. And we will also do tools. So we'll categorize it as tools in Normonday. We'll price this at $35. Let's just say we were able to find it for $5 branded. And we charge tax. And on this one, we'll do skate tool, ST001. And there's probably only one size, or if you have two different colors, then you could do that. Physical product, it weighs 11 ounces. Select country, United States. It's made in the US. Boom. You hit save. So now we have a couple of different products. As you guys can see, we have 4 different products. And let's just say we want to collect a collection for Normonday. So what we'll do is we'll call it drop 1. Product tag is equal to Normonday. And then we hit save. And the products that are there are right here. Now let's just say maybe the face masks fit in there pretty well as well, and maybe your fall 2020 collection isn't all that ready. What you could also do is go onto face mask and add it to the Normonday collection. So now it's available as Normonday because that's a collection that you were ready to launch more immediate. So let's just go on over to customize, and we will update the collection, or you can even add collections to your homepage. So let's go ahead and do this and add a featured collection, and let's add that. You can have 2 collections on there. So we'll do Normonday, select collection, Normonday, select. We want 3 products. Let's see how 2 products per row look. 2 products, boom. More front and center, hit save there. And if you want to categorize the way that products appear on your collection, what you do is you'd go back to your store and you'd go to collections, because there's different ways to categorize how your products appear. So say you wanted to have the Coach jacket appear first, then what you do is you'd either do it by best selling or you'd order it manually. Now manually is like something more feasible if you have a smaller collection. If you have a bigger collection, then you might want to go with best selling or lowest price, or however your market may see it. So now that that's done, I'll go ahead and refresh the page. All right, cool. So we got the Normonday collection right here, starting with the Coach's jacket, because we know that if we're looking on mobile, we want that to pop up first. And now we have this collection there. So let's say that you want to get rid of the fall one for now. Maybe you'll bring it back. You can move that back over here and move this up to take its place. That's the reason why we really like this theme. It's a pretty simple, clean theme that allows you to do a variety of things with it, all for free. So play with it, add it. That's essentially adding collections and then adding those collections to your home screen. You guys will be able to see a live theme that has a lot of these tools that we're showing and that we're sharing, and it'll be linked right down below, but it's essentially our own e-commerce store, Streetwear Apparel. We're using a lot of the tools that we're featuring in this video on that website, so you guys will be able to see how they all work and function. Now, let's say this is how your products look. Obviously, this is your description, and these are recommended products, product recommendation. So you can click that to show it or not. So you can either add it to cart or buy it now. You can show the vendor or not show the vendor. And you can hit the size. So these are all customizable. And let's say that we go with large because we want it to be front and center. Enable video loop in. Image zoom simply means it zooms in on the image. And then how many quantities they may want. You can also do that there. So that's all available right from the product page itself. Once you're happy with the way that the store is functioning, before you launch it, what you're gonna wanna do is also make sure that you look at the settings tab. Now the settings is where you're gonna be doing your locations. Locations is essentially where your store is based out of. All right, so if you have multiple retail stores, let's say that you have a boutique, but you also have another inventory location in California, or maybe you have something in New York that is currently housing physical products. Maybe you have another store over there. what you want to do is you want to add the location of where those products are being stored. So let's just say you have an LA warehouse. So let's just say all your products that come from online, you want to do, this is like the main location, or this location is a retail store, whatever it may be, just click on that. You want to add an address, obviously. So the reason for this is when orders come in, let's just say your orders are coming in and you have an order for a t-shirt that's in LA. You don't currently house it in your physical location, but you know that you could ship it. In the orders tab, you're going to want to fulfill it, but when you're printing out the packing slip and the shipping slip, it's actually going to go through you can select which location it's going to be shipped from. So you could put, this is shipping from LA warehouse, which gives you the pricing for LA to wherever they're at. That way you can easily manage your shipping labels and all that information cleanly and easily. Essentially, guys, fulfilling orders is as simple as clicking on this and hitting on orders and then dropping down, like this is where we're shipping it. It automatically gives you options for UPS and other vendors. Or you can also integrate to stamps or any fulfillment center, but it's done through the orders tab, and locations allow you to manage where your inventory is coming from. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that you add a location if you have products in multiple locations. If you're simply shipping it out from your house or from your home, then you don't need to add multiple locations. You can just do one. And then when it comes to the actual shipping and delivery, this is important. You want to be able to, essentially you have general shipping rates. So if you have two locations, you have two different zones. So let's just say right now, since we didn't offer this, the actual address, it's not going to be able to give us that address. But let's just say you have a retail store and you want to also offer, pick up in person. You can pay online, pick up in person. Then this is what you can do here. So what you want to essentially create is this is the sample box. You want to add your packages. You could do carrier packages. This is a big tip right here, guys. When it comes to shipping, you could essentially get boxes from USPS, UPS, and FedEx all free of charge. That means you don't have to go out and buy packaging to ship your own orders. You can order it directly from USPS's website, which we'll be linking in the description. And you could also order it from UPS, and you can order it in these dimensions. So you can easily get like one of each or some of the items, measure out the most items that you're going to sell, whether it's t-shirts, whether it's bags, whether it's accessories, measure those out and then find the right mailing dimensions that will fit that product, whether it's a single order or maybe people are buying it, you expect people to buy 3 items, so get a box that fits 3 items. Then you'll essentially be able to get those all for free shipped to your house, and you could just simply plug it in to your actual website packaging here. And now every time that you ship out, it gives you a pretty good example about how much it's going to cost you, since these are flat rate. And then you always need to add your weight to your products. That's the reason why we are creating products. You're also adding your weight dimensions. You want to make sure that you weigh those without any packaging. You want to weigh it on its own. That way you know exactly how much it's going to cost you when it comes to this checkout side. Buy and print discounted labels when fulfilling an order. So this is discounts, label format. You can print test a label, which will go ahead and show you, this is how it's coming from, test only. That way you can print it out on your home printer, or if you have a Dymo label, it can print out to the Dymo label, which allows you to simply stick it onto your package. Shopify gives you multiple options for shipping. So that's the beauty about it, is that you can create new zones. You could give it new packaging dimensions. You can connect to external fulfillment centers, and it's all done through these settings here. Again, this could be a way longer video if we jump into all those details with order management and shipping. For the sake of this video, we're going to keep that part short. You guys could simply click along and you'll see how that works, because we want to get into a couple of other things that are going to help you sell products. Those are more of some of the logistics. A question that frequently comes up is product photography, images. How do I get them? Where do I get them? What can I use if I'm doing a print on demand method? How can I showcase my designs to people and to others? Now you have a couple of different options. Obviously you can go and hire a photographer. You can go ahead and have them edit the photos on clean backgrounds. If you're doing some print on demand style, maybe you're focusing on t-shirt designs, then we have a pretty good, very generic offering that you can use. It's called Place It. Placeit.net, essentially what it allows you to do is it allows you to upload your designs to the models in a scenario that makes it look a little bit more realistic. Now what that means is instead of just showing a blank t-shirt there on a solid background and people not being able to know if they like it, how it might fit, what you can do is you could essentially throw your designs onto other people that are either riding a bike, that are playing racquetball, that are working out in the gym, and you can edit the photos to fit your brand's design. Now, it's super easy and simple to use. You guys can sign up through the link down below. There's a free version and there's paid versions for it. But Placeit.net is a great way to get your designs mocked up onto people wearing it. Now, we do have some great photographers in our community, which I will be linking in the resources down below if you guys want to contact them for more specialized products, or if you just want to do it yourself and you're thinking, hey, how do I do this myself? How do I photograph my product? I have the equipment, but I just don't know how to do product photography. Well, you're in luck, my friend, because we actually created a video a few years ago, but it's still very relevant. So go ahead and check it out. It's going to be linked right up above, and that will walk you through a setup that people use to create product photography, real high quality product photography. The importance is in knowing your lighting, if you're going to need flash, and the editing part of it, which is all detailed in that video up above. But I hope that answers your questions in regards to product photography. Now, when it comes to lifestyle imagery, if you're thinking about setting up your own shoot, please check out the video collaboration that we did with the man Mike Leisure as he jumped into actually creating your visual marketing campaign. And that's going to be a video that's on our channel, and you have to check it out because it's really going to help you condense your idea and create a lifestyle image that aligns with your brand. Don't just hire folks and hope that it comes out good. You want to set the direction, and we share a step-by-step process on how to do that. And now we come into the fun part of this video, which is the marketing and the sales. Now, building a store is one thing. There's a lot of videos that show that. They show you how to build a store, how to add products, how to do some drop shipping, blah, blah, blah. In this video, we're going to take it a step further. As we promised, we're going to give you a very comprehensive guide to actually launching your store and getting returning customers. So if you've been watching from the beginning until right now, I want to personally congratulate you, and I want you to pat yourself on the back because you've made it this far. And more importantly, I hope you've been taking action and you've been referring to these parts of the videos to actually build your store alongside of us. Now let's jump into some of this important stuff that's often overlooked and missed, and that is essentially in increasing your sales channel. Now, if you came from a third-party platform like Etsy, or perhaps you're already selling on Amazon, or maybe you're getting some traffic on Pinterest because you've been pinning a lot there, or your traffic is on Instagram. Wherever you're getting your traffic and your audience from, it's going to be important that you add a sales channel. Now, a sales channel can easily be added by clicking on the sales channel here. And like you see, you can add the sales channels that you're currently active in. So whether it's Pinterest, you can add your Pinterest board, or in my case, Instagram. So by adding your Instagram page to your Shopify account, what this allows you to do is this allows you to actually collect information from Instagram, and Shopify shoots information over to Instagram that allows you to actually tag products and sell products to Facebook Shop. Now, in order to tag Instagram, you do need to install Facebook. Once you connect your Facebook shop and your Instagram, it'll import all the products that you have. As you guys can see, we did this for the streetwear apparel website. And what it boils down to is it does take a few days for them to review it and approve the products just to make sure that it's nothing conflicting with their terms of service. And once you actually do that, you'll be able to, as you guys can see, you're on your Facebook profile, and you'll be able to hit the edit button right there, and you'll go to edit. And now what you can do, you do there, and you do the tag, and you could tag products. So you tap the photo, and it'll actually show you which products are approved. There's some things that face masks, PPE equipment isn't easily approved online, but any apparel or other products that you have are going to get approved. So you could do long T, and you could hit done. Once you hit done, one product is tagged. And then how this looks on social media is essentially as people are browsing, they could see this little thing here, and say, oh, this is a long black tee. I want to check this out. I want to check this product that he's wearing. And it'll actually pull up the product images that you uploaded onto Shopify, which is why it asks you for permissions on stuff. And then if people are interested, they can go and view on website. And then right there, you select the size, and people can literally buy it from your store directly from Instagram. So that is the beauty about online e-commerce with Shopify. It integrates seamlessly with your Instagram, with your Facebook, with Pinterest, wherever it is you're active and have a following. Make sure that you connect it and that you put your products through as soon as you launch the store, because it will take a few days for them to get it approved and actually allow you to list them. That allows you to go back to all your posts of you wearing that product and promoting it, and people are going to be able to tap it and go and shop in real time. So if you're an influencer with a following, this is something that you have to do. It's a must in order to easily and quickly promote products with every post. So once you connect to Instagram and to social media, obviously that's free, engaged marketing. It's marketing that you can continually do. You don't have to pay for. You can also run ads on it. So if you wanted to run promotional posts, that's also something you could do directly from Instagram and Facebook. Another free to low-cost method that people often overlook is email marketing. And email marketing is crucial to being able to engage with an audience that's coming to your site. So let's just say that you posted on social media, you tagged the product, somebody went onto your profile, onto your website, they're interested in checking out, and maybe they got all the way to the checkout, but then they decided, I don't know about the shipping, or they got interrupted by a baby or somebody else in their family, and they weren't able to check out, but they almost put their information on the credit card. You don't want them to hopefully remember to go back to the cart. This is where email marketing and automation comes into play. So there's different things that you can do to automate emails, whether it's a pop-up or whether it's a sign-up form, or in the case of an abandoned cart sequence. So the best platform that I've found so far that gives you a variety of tools that you can use, whether it's email and SMS messaging, as well as Facebook chats, and all kinds of ways to retarget a customer, but still keeps it very easy to use, is OmniSend. And OmniSend is linked down below, and it's also approved by Shopify. So what you'll do is you'll simply click on the link down below and you'll enter your email. You'll create an account, and then you'll simply get started. The name of your business you'll also put here. It's important because they will actually connect to Shopify, so make sure that you put the right information. So right here, they're gonna ask you which platform, Shopify. It also connects to all the other big ones like BigCommerce, WooCommerce, OpenCart, Squarespace. So as you guys can see, there is a couple of platforms that they integrate with. So if you've been following along, this is all stuff that you can do. So once you choose it, it's the final step. Once you verify the email on file that you put, you are now ready to get started with OmniSend. Like I mentioned, they allow you to simply retarget at all points of life, whether it's newsletters, whether it's SMS messaging, whether it's subscriber boxes, whether it's the stats and data that you need. They automatically connect to your store, which brings us into the Connect to Your Store tab right here. What you want to do is click Shopify, Connect to Store. Your store is GenerationApparel.STORE, and it'll be whatever your store.myshopify was. It is now connected. It'll bring you back to Shopify, and it'll essentially say, okay, this includes it. You're going to be giving them permission to manage your customers, your sales data, all these things, because that's the way that it's going to help you better sell and target your customers and retarget and re-engage with your current customers. Joan Santos, welcome Joan Santos. Now, what's happening here is you want to set up your first automation workflow. Let's create a workflow. This is the one that we're going to touch base on here is going to be Shopper. All right, so the most important one that you guys got to set up and customize is the abandoned cart email. It's a 3 email, or you could also do 3 emails and an SMS text message. Ooh, like I said, guys, you could also do SMS messaging. So if you want to get people on their email, but you also want to send them a personal message, this is all something that you can do. So let's just click on something like that. And as you could see here, this is the flow that it's actually going to do. Customers enter the workflow when they add items to the cart, but don't make a purchase. it waits about an hour. You can change the trigger time here. Let's just say you want to make it minutes. Let's say, hey, I don't want them to go away. Let's send it to them in 30 minutes to remind them. It'll send 3 emails, 1, 2, 3. Actually, it'll send the first one, still shopping. It'll send the second one about a day later, and then it'll send a message on the third day, which will text them. And then about 5 minutes later, it'll send an email. So that's their flow to try to help you close the sale that somebody was about to buy but didn't. So now if you want to customize it, you'll essentially click on this and you could change the shopping line. You could change the subject line. So whether it's still shopping, you could leave this all generic, or you could actually customize it to however you want to do to make it more personal. I highly encourage that you customize these with your branding. All right, so now we have a live automation here that will show you guys a couple of abandoned carts that we have. So let's just go ahead and click on this right here. So what you can do is you hit edit content, and once you click on edit content, this will automatically fill in the products. So this is a generic one that they have, and it'll automatically fill in the products that they were looking at and that they had in their cart before they left. So if they had 1 product, or if they had 2 or 3, it'll automatically pull the products right into here, which is the beauty about OmniSend. You don't have to focus on any coding or anything, and it automatically connects back to your Shopify store. So you don't have to worry about any integration issues. You literally just make sure that you're happy with the way it looks, you're happy with some of the things here. Everything else is on autopilot. It automatically does everything. So you could, essentially the way that you'd want to customize it is you could add a photo or an image here. Let's just say you wanted to add an image. You can add an image to it, and essentially just quickly select an image. You could do something like that we already had. Boom, that's like your welcome abandoned cart message. Whatever you want to do, you can do it all through OmniSend, which is amazing. It's easy to use, so it allows you to just focus on selling products. All right, that's the beauty about e-commerce, is you need to know what you need to know. So it allows you to quickly create a campaign and allows you to quickly look at the performance of it and change it up. We still have some work to do on that one because it looks too generic, but we're slowly building on it. And that's the beauty about e-commerce. You can continue to test and tune, but the thing that you have to do is you have to set up your automation campaign. Once you set up your automation campaign on OmniSend, the thing that you'll want to do in the settings is you actually want to remove the sending from Shopify's end, or else your customer is going to get like bombarded with Shopify's and the third party, which may not be good. All right, now in order to prevent Shopify from sending out emails on their side as well as on the OmniSend side, you want the emails to come from OmniSend. So with that being the case, after you pay for an account, it'll actually be under the checkout options. It's not here as a free account. You will have to select a plan to unlock full features. But once you do that, there'll be an option that essentially says, do not send automatic abandoned carts. You'll uncheck that, and now OmniSend will be your primary abandoned cart as well as welcome campaign manager. Now, it's super simple to set up a welcome campaign. You do it in a similar way, and you essentially set up the campaign, and it'll automatically put up a widget. And with that widget, it'll essentially allow customers to just enter their email, and now they are welcome to a campaign that is edited and created by you, welcoming them to your community and what it is that you have to offer. So I want to invite you to just go ahead and check out the streetwearapparel.com, enter your email, and get to feel around and see some of the things that we're mentioning in this video. So it's easy to customize with OmniSend. I highly encourage that you connect that to your Shopify store, as it allows you to easily retarget email marketing without you having to figure out all this back-end logistics. It's super simple right on this platform. All right, so now that you got some marketing underway, some things to help you retarget and get some sales, the next important thing is in your actual branding and visual, how you're gonna present your brand and your products to the world. An amazing service is through the Adobe Creative Cloud, which is linked right down below. You'll have access to all of the platforms if you're a student, if you're currently a college student, high school student, they give you a great deal. Just check out the link right down below. And the platform that I would highly encourage that you look into is all the apps. All the apps give you everything that you see here. But if you were to choose something for your brand specifically, if you're designing products, then that is more of an Illustrator thing. And if you're mainly doing Photoshop and going to be doing some marketing work, then that is a Photoshop thing. If you choose all the apps as a subscription, you will be able to access Adobe Spark. And Adobe Spark allows you to quickly and easily create video edits for promotional reels, as well as campaigns like short videos, web pages, landing pages, graphics for social media if you're going to be doing advertising. And it also allows you to easily and quickly create images that you can use on newsletters and throughout your entire marketing channels. Adobe Spark is easy to use, and it's included with the all apps plan. On its own, it's close to the 20 bucks. So if you're going to be using Photoshop, Adobe Spark, Illustrator, maybe you want to do some premium video edits, all apps through the Creative Cloud is a great place for you to turn to. Adobe Photoshop allows you to quickly edit your photos. So let's just say you had a photo that you took a picture of, or maybe somebody took a picture of it, but you want to enlarge it, or maybe you want to make it square. That is how Adobe Photoshop works and functions. Instead of you trying to figure out like, how do I increase the background or whatnot, Adobe Photoshop allows you to quickly edit your photos, position them, tile them. Whatever you need to do, Photoshop allows you to really focus on creating the assets that you need for your store, and Adobe Illustrator helps you actually design. Now we have a couple videos on this topic, so I want to go ahead and let you know that they will be in the timestamp if you guys want to refer to those. So now that you know what to design with, what to actually create imagery with, I want to jump into another very important tool that I feel will help you convert your cold traffic, people that are coming to your site for the first time, into paying customers. And that is called TrustPulse. TrustPulse is a platform, and that is called TrustPulse. TrustPulse is a platform that allows you to have this little ticker box come out. Perhaps you were shopping on something online at some point in the last few days, and you notice these little pop-ups come up on the store. Well, this is how it works. It's essentially through TrustPulse, which if you get an account, you do have to pay for an account. This is something that costs you out the gate, but they do have a 14-day money-back guarantee. Now, the thing about TrustPulse is that it definitely pays itself off within the first few days, because it will increase the chances of somebody buying from your store. Oftentimes when people are looking at their e-commerce store for the very first time, a new brand that just targeted them, or maybe they heard about it through an influencer, they have a lot of questions on their mind. Is this a legit site? Am I actually going to get my products? Well, TrustPulse allows you to quickly and easily let people know, hey, there's real stuff happening on this store. Now, we have it on our streetwearapparel.com website. It automatically updates people, hey, somebody purchased something 21 minutes ago, and this is legit stuff. They actually pull the data from your store and they let people know that there is real traffic happening on that store, which helps you increase the chances of getting sales from people that would probably question if they should buy from you or not. So to get started with that, you'd simply hit the get started there, you'd insert your information, and then once you insert your information, it'll just give you a little line of code. That little line of code is used to verify your store, and the way that where you would actually attach it is through the Shopify backend. You go to the themes, and then you'll go to actions, and you'll go to edit code. Now this is where you will have to do some coding, so you don't need a degree though, because I don't know I don't know anything about coding, but I figured it out. But once you sign up to TrustPulse, trust me, it's easy. You just enter your domain name there. Where you're going to enter it is through the liquid, is actually through the footer. And in footer liquid, you're looking, it'll actually tell you, it'll give you a little image, but it'll tell you where it begins. And then you just paste the code right before the footer. And then that is essentially, then you go back to TrustPulse and you verify that it's connected, and it'll tell you it's connected. And now it'll be able to pull the data from your store, and you have a quick sign up button like this that helps increase the chances of people actually checking out on your store. And like I mentioned, this is one of the pop-ups that you can easily do with OmniSend. So check out the Streetwear Apparel site, as we are using all the tools that we mentioned on that platform. And this one was essentially just showing you guys how to start a store and design it from scratch. Once again, huge shout outs to .store for sponsoring this video. Remember, your next domain name you don't have to settle for. Consider getting a .store extension to reserve your brand's name. And if you guys are still watching this video to the end right now, I highly congratulate you. That means that you've either just wrapped up your e-commerce store, so congratulations, or maybe you're about to get started. Either way, I want you to tag us on Instagram as you're launching your brand, because we love featuring brands from this community. So follow us at John X Santos down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All right.
Where are you going?
Going to work. Let's ship this out.